Good afternoon. Welcome once again to Presence of Light with Charlie Riverman Bergeron. It's a joy to be here on this Sunday afternoon, although it's not very sunny here in the southwest coast of Maine. We've had some storms going through with some flooding, some damage to my own home and the land around us. And so it's been a challenge between snow and rain. However, we know that without the water, we don't exist, so we have to tolerate what nature brings to us. And hopefully, it is nature that's doing this, not some other craftiness. That brought me today to talk about something that I thought about years ago. I think it was 7 years ago when I look back at a lot of my writings. It's overwhelming when I look at all that I've spoken about and that I've done, and yet my memory, as it is with this brain fog, doesn't remember all of that. And it's not that I feel bad about it because I have all copies of it and it's written and it's out in my blog. But I looked at it and just said, who was I then and who am I now? And this one message came across very strongly: grace in action, habit of the heart. And I was writing about that 7 years ago. And as I look back and I say, who was I 7 years ago? What was my purpose? I look and say, it's pretty much the same as it is now. It's not really changed. It's changed in how I may say it or what I may talk about. But really, I've been talking from my heart, not from my brain. And that's the habit of the heart, is to allow people to feel what you're saying, to talk about things that make people think about something within themselves that may bring a light to open them, to challenge themselves, to uh, not be afraid to be who they truly are. And so this year, 2024, is for many that I talk to feel like a new year, a new energy field, a new something. Some explain it very exorbitantly. I mean, it's beautiful what they're saying, but most people just know that there's something happening, and it's not something that's happened before that they can relate to. There's something happening. So, in the external, what we hear about is that, of course, we're being challenged by what's going on in the world around us. And it doesn't matter where we are in the world, there is trouble. Whether it's a war in full go, or it's homelessness and drug addiction and just abhorrent uh, attitudes and I mean mind selfishness. And we all in our hearts say, how did we get here? How did all of this come about? And we know that it's happened over thousands of years. And the same thing happened thousands of years ago. It's not something new. It's not something new. But we're experiencing the newness of it because now it's affecting us every day. There's no, oh, I can go into my garden and surrender, and which you can do, but that's always in me. There's been an agitation of this, a stirring up. Um, a washing machine comes to my mind, this chuk, 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 chuk. Yeah, and it disturbs us. It disturbs us whether we seek to admit it or not. It's okay. Hello, Hillary. Bless you, dear. So, what do we do when we come to this awareness of what we're being sold and told is sometimes not what it is. It's only a way to clean our pockets of our dollars or make somebody else a trillionaire. Oh, happy you're here, dear. And so I look back at the 7 years of what I wrote back then. And the one word that caught my attention was in some notes was gratitude. How do we have gratitude? How do we maintain our gratitude in a world that is so selfish? And that's sort of, I guess, my struggle within me is I'm a person who wants to offer gratitude. I want to feel the love. I want to send the love and the light to others. So I wrote this 7 years ago, and it's an anagram of the word gratitude. Giving respect and thanksgiving in time, understanding dimensional eternalness. Now, that may seem a little strange to most people. What is dimensional eternalness? And I think now we're beginning to understand that what we call eternal, we can't say we understand in our presence. Yet, in many of the writings of all the religions, we are eternal in some form, shape, or manner. And then there's an opportunity to not exist at all or be destroyed. They've been giving us this yin and yang, this black and white, this balancing thing. And the whole structure is based on balance. But if we come back into our hearts and realize that if I respect everybody, no matter what they do, there's something I can respect about that person, or I can feel sad that they don't have, that I don't feel good about them, and be thankful for everything that I have, even though sometimes it's very little. I'm honoring myself. And that's what I'm sharing to you is this whole process of grace in action is to honor yourself. And the message that I've been working with for a long time now is if I can't love myself, how can I love anybody else? I don't know love. I don't know what, if I can't understand what is good for me, how can I say I know what's good for somebody else? And we're caught in this dilemma of struggling. And at the same moment, we have a whole society that is bearing down on us and offering us information that is disrespectful of everyone. And they're even disrespecting themselves, not consciously aware of it, and they seem blind to what they're doing. They're talking out of some imagination that has, oh, just look at me, look at me, look at me. It's sort of a narcissistic role they're playing. They're not playing the role of leadership or kindness or any of that for the good of the whole or for everyone. They're doing it for their own egos and their own, hey, look at me, I'm, such and so and so. So we have to come back into our hearts, is really what I'm talking about. And we have to realize that our ability to entrust our information, media, and our leaders around the world is becoming really hard to do. And we've gone through that for several years now. It's not something new, but now we've become more accustomed to listening to it. And many of us are either just ignoring it entirely and shutting it down, or people are still taking sides. And division is always the way to conquer. Okay, this is not new. This is an old tactic that has been used for thousands of years. Divide and conquer. And that's what we see in play right now. At least I do. And I want all of you to see where you're being divided within yourself. Because it's not so much right now what everybody else is doing. It's about let's take a look inside of ourselves and say, how am I reacting to things? What am I doing? What is all of this making me subject to? And am I behaving in a manner that uh, defines me as somebody who can't love because I can't show love even to myself? I put myself in this place where I have to be angry or I have to be, on alert at all the time. And I know many of you are tired. I can't imagine why you couldn't be tired because it's a hard way to live in a world that Mother Earth of abundance is abundance everywhere. And for us to have to suffer because somebody else wants something they want that is not in the best interest for all of us. Lily, hello. Hillary, hello. So, grace really is what we need to seek inside of ourselves. We need to be able to give ourselves some grace. And even if nobody else does it, we have to take up the banner and we have to march with that in our mind. How am I gracing myself? How am I understanding my dimensional eternalness? Because we are part of the eternal dimension. And that's little on the outside, but the reality is we're all part of something much larger than we're still learning. All of the great scientists are still learning about simple things that ancestors whose grounds are buried under the ground had the ability to communicate and had the ability to do amazing things, alignments with the stars. They didn't have any telescopes. They didn't have any, you know. So how did they have that thousands of years ago and we have nothing? Well, it's real simple. It was all taken away from us. Perhaps we all had that ability, and that over time, in order to create their own fancy worlds, they kept dumbing all of us down. I'm not going to say that's the truth. I'm just giving you an option to say, what happens when people make me believe? Look at cults. People make them believe that they have to do this and that, or else they're going to be dying a sinner or something. And we've gone through this for thousands and thousands of years. And I'm not backtalking religions or teachings, but it's the people who are the leaders that have led us into this place that we're at. And each week, each of us seek to find a balance, in ourselves. So grace is what we have to offer ourselves. And it may seem strange when I say that. We are grace. We are love. We are light. We were created from peace, light, and love. We entered into our mother's wombs as sperm and eggs, and boom, the light flashed, and here we are. That's what happens. But we don't look at it in a way of, we came here to be here together for the good of everything. We've lost our way. And it's time we come back into looking at how can I give myself some grace. May sound selfish as I put it out there, but we need to honor ourselves and wake up in the morning and say, thank you, I'm here. Um, this is, yeah, it's horrible. The weather is horrible. All of these things. But what is it really here is all of this life is here. And we're here together. And how can we help each other live better? Not wealthier, not have 75,000, cars that are over $1 million. That's just greed. That's just ego that's doing that. And if some of you have all that, God bless you. Good for you. But to make that the whole purpose of life, where does that leave you? Who are you? Who are you in your heart? Maybe amazing in your head, and you may be able to do all of this stuff, but where are you in your heart? And that's what I want to start. Again, this year is one where we have to look ahead and realize that everything is going to change, and a lot of it we're not going to like, but all of it is going to teach us something. It's going to give us an opportunity to say, how am I reacting to this and why? Because when we figure out the why, then we can look at it and say, I no longer need to address this. It's sort of like the book you've read 4 times. I don't need to read this again. I'll pass it on. It had no purpose. All it did was agitate me. All it did was frustrate me. And so, it was a wonderful book, but I don't need to live in that book anymore. Each one of you are amazing beings. So, again, when I wake up in the morning, that's what I do. I go through my process of being thankful. My gratitude. I look and I'm saying, I'm here. The first thing I do is say, thank you, I'm here. Now, the rest of the day can be quite a nightmare. I had a flooded basement yesterday morning. What do? You go and you take care of it. But you do it and you don't blame anybody for it. The earth is oversaturated with water. There's just spitting, there's no place for it to go. So it'll find the pressure of the water will find the tiniest crack or whatever. And once it does, it gets it bigger and it will continue doing that. So you can remedy those leaks, just like you can remedy the leaks in ourselves, where all of that pain and suffering is coming in and flooding us with all of this negative energy. It's really basically negative or positive. And that's really what you focus on. It does, what matters with your connection with that which we call God or Creator, it doesn't matter what religion you are, as long as your religion teaches you love. If your religion is not teaching you love, but teaching you retribution and anger, and allowing that and saying, oh, that's okay, that's something wrong. It's not right. It's wrong. We were not here. We did not come here to play war. I remember when I was a kid, it was all about war, battleships, and because that's what we grew up with. Our parents had just gone through war. Our children right now will have children where all of this war stuff will keep them in a place where it has to be done. This means you're strong. This means you're powerful. No, it's time to come back to love. Time to come back to compassion. It's time to come back to looking in somebody's eyes and saying, I love you, but without saying it. Just, I thank you because you're here, and I love that you're here. And your being here means something to me. So, in our closing moments here, I've got some things to read to you that I've written down on my notes here. One of them is that each moment in time to be good, to be of good grace, grateful. Grace is to honor by presence. It thrills the soul. It excites the source of unconditional love, which is who we truly are. And I'm going to put that in the thing for you. You can have that. And that's it. So, as a recovering alcoholic, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so am I. I'm about 20 years sober, non drinking. So, I died. I died as a result of my drinking. I had a motorcycle accident and died and came back. So, I know all about that stuff. And Hillary doesn't believe in religion, but I love God and all of his people. Hillary, it's okay. And thank you for saying that. Thank you for being bold enough to witness that religion is a teaching. It's not necessarily the teaching is the Word of God. The Word of God, or what you believe in, will come to you within you. It's only a community of other people who understand in the same manner or wish to worship in a different manner. But the creator of all of us, I don't think any of us will ever really understand that. And I, having died and come back, I still don't understand it. But I know it exists. I know it's part of me. And I know it's my responsibility to live as closely as I can to that ability of if somebody dies and leaves its body and they can put it back in, I, I want to do some of that. I want to put you all back into your hearts. And that's why I do what I do. I don't get paid for this. This is my gift. This is my gift that I was given to come back and talk about this. Um, let's see. What did I have on my notes here again? Okay. The next one was each moment in time is an avenue in eternity, whereupon we stroll hand in hand until we join heart to heart. Then, in our oneness, we radiate through all dimensions. And I'll put that one on there as well. I don't know if there's that one. And I'm going to give you this one. And these are my gifts because I wrote these years ago. And they were a joy to find them again today as I was just scanning what I might talk about. And so I said, well, what's the better way than to hand it out to people and let them read them if they like them, or let them type them out and burn them if they want to. Doesn't matter. The words are there, and they came from my heart. And I wanted to show that each one of you have a heart that's amazing and has the actual power to give far more than you'll ever receive. Yet you will receive more the more you give. And we do this to ourselves when we can't love somebody. We're really stifling ourselves. We're stopping the flow. So be careful out there. Last but not least is a prayer. And I want to copy that and put there for you. And again, you can copy these, and these are my writings. I don't hold them as mine. They were gifted to me from my higher self. So I won't sue you, no matter what you do with them. Prayer for grace. As we close today, let's just take a deep breath and know that it's all about caring. It's all about loving. It's all about seeing the best in each other and trying to tolerate the hard parts. But it is also part of our journey to sort of help other people, point other people in the right direction, because they get lost. And all of us have been lost at some point in our lives. You can't escape it. It's like going into the woods and saying, "Ooh, what's over there? And what's over there?" And by the time you're 2 hours are gone, you don't know how to get back out. So remember, it's all a journey of your heart. Your mind is the recorder. Be your heart, not your mind. And I will read the prayer to you. Prayer for grace. Beloved source of all blessings, allow us to honor you today. Let your eyes and ears be open. Let our minds be open. And let our hearts be open. Let us recognize our full abundance as the beautiful souls we are, joyously embracing the full presence of grace in our lives and the lives of others. It's that simple. Try it. Bless you all. As I close, I thank you all for being present. And I know this is an odd time perhaps to come on, but it's in my new schedule. It's probably the easiest for me. I can be relaxed and not be pushing any other meetings or conditions. So bless you all, and know that I'll be here every Sunday. Probably I'm going to try to be around 3:30. So I'm not going to say I'm going to be exactly there. But these are always listed under videos on humanity healing. And then I post them elsewhere on my own Facebook page and a yeah, I can't think of it. There's the brain fog. Never lose your sense of humor. Even when your brain goes crazy, it's like, okay, there it goes. So yeah. Anyway, bless you all, and thank you for your presence and your tolerance. And may your day be filled with joy and wonderful things. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. One heart, one love, forever. Bless you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.